Roll Clones, and how about those Chiefs? Welcome back to Cyclone Kingdom, episode 7, new podcast coming at you as we prepare for football season, just a mere few weeks away. We are live here on YouTube and on TikTok. Let me share this link real quick so we can get our X Twitter fam in here, whatever you want to call them. And we will get started. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday as you're listening to this. Maybe you're listening at a different time. Wherever you are at, I hope you are having rocking and rolling. That was the wrong link. Appreciate our audio listeners listening live on podcast as well. We are on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. Obviously, we're on YouTube here. So we appreciate you guys wherever you are tuning in from. We got a lot to talk about today. There's been a lot that's been going on our world over here at Cyclone Kingdom, at Cyclone Central, all of these different avenues that we have chosen to use as a platform for sports media and to honor and glorify Jesus Christ. So as you guys come on in, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Make sure you head over to our X, to our TikTok, to Cyclone Central's X and TikTok and YouTube channel as well. We got a lot of fun content rolling out as we get ready for football season. What do we need to talk about today? Because there's a lot of different directions I could go in right now. I'm a little more emotional than I usually would be. So I'm gonna try to rein it in as much as possible. But we've had quite the experience. Really, this whole off season with Hawkeye fans, as a Cyclone community. Myself, Owen Kenny, over at Cyclone Central, we have had our fair share of getting the full experience of the Iowa Hawkeye community. And here's my takeaway: it's worse than I thought. It's worse than I thought. And before I get to that, we'll get to some comments here in a little bit. As part of our show, we like to respond to some comments, respond to where you guys are tuning in from, and hear your takes on sports. But I have a brother, I have a pastor and his family who are Hawkeye fans, and they're super sweet people. They value me as a human being. They value me as an image bearer of Christ, of God, and they enjoy fellowship, enjoy hanging out, enjoy the banter back and forth. Guys, there's not a lot of Hawkeye fans outside of those people I just mentioned that I have the remotest amount of respect for. I don't get it. I just don't. Because here's what happened. On Cyclone Central's most recent episode, we're previewing the Cyclone football season. We're doing it again today as well as we're recording this. Going over the next 4 games of Iowa State's football season, if you guys want to tune into that. But we previewed the Cyhawk game. And we talked about what we thought the score was going to be, how the game was going to go, what the environment's going to be like. And it caused a discussion between me and Owen about Kinnick Stadium and about Hawkeye fans within Kinnick Stadium. And we made the point that Kinnick Stadium and those that inhabit it as Hawkeye fans, on the whole, the majority, so it's not every single one, but the majority, the vast majority, are vile, wicked people. There's evidence of this. The way they treat opposing teams, the way they treat each other. Guys, I went to a game when I was 11 years old. Iowa Northwestern. Iowa was in the top 10, I think, at the time. Northwestern ended up beating them, which was kind of funny. And I got to see firsthand what this was like. And guys, there were Hawkeye fans cursing out each other, let alone the Northwestern fan base. That was my perspective as this innocent 11-year-old kid that goes far beyond as we're going to get to in a second, the bad words that I heard. Because there's a whole X/Twitter side of this that is very interesting. Social media is a cesspool of this kind of stuff, and this has been no different, but I'm going to get into exactly what's going on. What happened that day when I was at Kinnick Stadium is one of the reasons why I'll never step foot in Kinnick Stadium for the Cyhawk game. It's because I value my safety. I value my wife's safety. I value anybody else that would go there. I value their safety. This is including Hawkeye fans, by the way. The well-meaning ones. My brother, right? This pastor and his family, if they were to go to a game at Kinnick Stadium. But Owen and I discussed that, spoiler alert, Owen picked Iowa to win. I picked Iowa State to win. But we talked about just how we want Cyclone fans to be safe that are going there. There's been reports over the years of Hawkeye fans being one of the most toxic fan bases in college football as a majority. And the reason for that is because of how they treat other people and their character. Guys, we're not just a sports show. You know this about us. We are a show that is distinctly and unashamedly Christian. So if I can just speak truth here for a second, God's word commands us to be at peace with everybody. And as far as it depends on us to be at peace with everybody. And the amount of Hawkeye fans that have interacted with me since we put that out on Wednesday, so in the last couple days, and have berated me and said how wrong I am and how much of an idiot I am because I've looped in an entire fan base where there's evidence of them being this way, that they're all of a sudden not toxic. They've all of a sudden changed. Guys, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand for the life of me how you think that I would attack you individually as a Hawkeye fan when I'm talking about the vast majority of people at Kinnick Stadium. There's some Iowa fans that may have never been to Kinnick Stadium. They're not in that category. There was an Iowa fan I was just talking to the other day on social media who is a very well-meaning Hawkeye fan who all of a sudden flipped because he thought I was talking about him. Guys, I'm talking about the vast majority of Hawkeye fans within Kinnick Stadium, and especially for the Cyhawk game, that are wicked, immoral people that treat people awful. They treat people with disdain. Does this happen at every single school? Of course. I saw people say, oh, well, Iowa State fans do this, and I'm sure there's some very wrong and inappropriate Cyclone fans out there, some of which I've actually blocked on social media as well. I get it. I get it that they're out there. They're in every single fan base. As a majority of people, a vast amount of people, you will not find a single fan base in college sports that is worse than Iowa because of how they value a human being. And the fact is, guys, the majority of them don't. This goes far beyond social media. This goes far beyond the let's go get him, let's get after him, let's poke him and make fun of him. This is a moral issue, guys. This is a biblical issue where the image of God is being marred by every single person that's talking about other teams. But every single Iowa fan that's talking badly about another person. But every single Iowa fan that's talking badly about another Iowa fan. I promise you, if my brother or this pastor and his family went to Kinnick Stadium, they would get picked on because of how religious they are. Because they actually value people. My brother and I can go back and forth about whatever. Because he's an Iowa fan, I'm an Iowa State fan. We will come to the end of it with love for each other. Guys, the amount of Hawkeye fans I've had to block because of the fact they don't understand how to differentiate. We've talked about this for months. That's what the theme of this offseason has been. We've talked about for months how Hawkeye fans cannot distinguish talking about an issue and talking badly about someone's character. We saw it again when the whole clip came out from our Cyclone Central podcast. Because, guys, this is much bigger than sports. This is much bigger than just a game within a game within a game. This is an issue of valuing the human decency of people. If you can't value the human decency of people, if you can't believe the best about a human being, and God forbid you actually start attacking that human being, throwing things at them, but where there's evidence of multiple Hawkeye fans doing this, then something has gone terribly wrong and we have missed the boat. We've missed the boat. So, to all of my Hawkeye friends that are still listening to this, that are still within earshot of me, please understand that I am moving forward having a zero tolerance policy for attacking other people. I just am. I will not stand for, especially if you're a Hawkeye fan, I will not stand for you bashing or disparaging other people and being petty about it. I get the whole discussion about fan bases and schools and the rivalry. That's great. Let's talk about that. Don't come after me because I made a true statement about your football stadium and how they treat people as a whole. That does not mean I'm talking specifically about you. Hawkeye fans didn't seem to understand that. And the ones that attacked me are probably the ones that are part of that Kinnick crowd. That's my only explanation. So, again, moving forward, zero tolerance policy. I am on a blocking spree, if you will, because I just have zero tolerance for that moving forward. And Cyclone fans, similarly, I want you guys to be part of this content. I want you guys to be a part of what we're doing here at Cyclone Kingdom and Cyclone Central. We're doing some great things. The Lord's been really good. But I'm not going to stand for it from your standpoint either. If you're an Iowa State fan, I'm not going to stand for you attacking me, attacking Owen, attacking other Hawkeye fans. You guys have been called every name in the book. I've had borderline just vile, illegal images of me tweeted out in an AI-generated way on social media by Hawkeye fans. This is what we're under right now. This is the, I don't even want to say persecution because it's not a biblical issue, but this is the mistreatment we've been getting here. And this is also why we're in this space. This is also why a year ago I started this channel and started this social media profile to go right into the thick, right into the belly of the beast, right into the ring of the fire and say it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to attack people personally. You can have a conversation about sports without hating another human being. And hopefully that's the case moving forward. So I needed to get that off my chest a little bit in this podcast form before we continue on. We're going to talk about Iowa State special teams a little bit and preview the Chiefs preseason game coming up this afternoon. But that needed to be said because it's just gone off the rails. And I would love to interact with more Hawkeye fans on social media. They won't let me because they force my hand by being a vile, wicked, immoral human being that attacks the image of God that he has given me in the similar way he's given them the image of God. They're image bearers of God and they're marring it by dehumanizing and degrading me and then just being petty and not addressing the actual issue at hand. If you are a Hawkeye fan and you hear the clip that you haven't heard yet, or you're unaware of what I'm talking about, and you hear the clip about us talking about Kinnick Stadium and how there's a bunch of people there that just do not act morally or ethically at all, that does not mean we're talking about you. If you've been to a Hawkeye game and you've been one of those people, maybe you're being called out. Maybe you're being exposed. Respond to that by sending me a direct message. Let's talk about it. Don't go publicly and reply to tweets and call me this and call me that and call me every inappropriate, vile name in the book because there's zero tolerance for that moving forward. There's zero tolerance for it. Let's respond to a couple comments as we get prepared to talk about Iowa State special teams this year, which is going to be good, guys. It's going to be good. Austin Daniel over here on TikTok. Do you think Jimmy Rogers is going to be able to back up the talk? I don't think so this year, Austin. We're previewing Iowa State's schedule later on today on Cyclone Central. I don't think Iowa State will have a terribly successful season this year. I also don't think they're going to go 3-9. It's going to be somewhere in between. The next couple of years, I do not doubt it. I do not doubt it at all that Jimmy Rogers will be able to back it up and get Iowa State back into contention. Devin, my boy Devin, Chiefs fan over here. How are you doing today, Devin? I'm doing well, better than I deserve, sir. Thank you for joining on. We appreciate you. Blake over here on TikTok. Will or Drew? I'm trying to figure out what that's referring to. Blake, let me know. Got a lot of people in here on TikTok. feel free to join on YouTube as well. This will be up on our YouTube page after this is over. Devin, what do you think about the Chiefs game today? Devin, we're going to preview it in just about a half hour, so stay tuned for that. We're going to get to some Cyclones content first, and then we'll get into it. All right. Let's see anybody else hanging out in here. Killatrack said wrong. App State fans are way worse. I haven't interacted with enough App State fans or seen any evidence of it to say that Killatrack. So highly doubt that. But I know there's some bad fan bases, guys. It's just maybe when you're close to the vest, like I am as an Iowa State fan, you see it more up front and center, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Blake is asking about Will Howard or Drew Aller for the Steelers. We're a Cyclones and Chiefs podcast, but I will give that take real quick. Drew Aller looked really good. I would still go with Will Howard because of where the Steelers are at, especially if Aaron Rodgers goes down. I don't know if you wanted to just go to Mason Rudolph, but that is for different podcasts if you want to go check those out. Guys, Iowa State special teams is going to be really good this year. We've talked about it a lot. We just finished our full position preview over on Cyclone Kingdom. The full Cyclones position preview, every single position group ranked and analyzed in an in-depth perspective. If you want to go check it out, it is on our YouTube channel. One of the first things you see to prep you for the Cyclone season. And we just got finished talking about the special teams. That was the last position group that we did, so it's fresh in my mind. Guys, Kyle Conradi is a top 5 kicker in the sport. The fact more people aren't talking about him is shocking to me, considering his talent level and the fact that he has single-handedly beat his arch rival and our arch rival in the Iowa Hawkeyes 2 years running. He kicked a 63-yarder against South Dakota at Jack Trice Stadium like it was nothing. I think that Kyle Conradi is being massively slept on going into the season. And he's going to remind the world just how talented he is and the fact that he could have gone anywhere and returned to Iowa State instead. That's before we talk about anybody else in the special teams room in terms of the other specialists that the Cyclones have. I think that Conradi is going to go down in Iowa State history as one of the most important Cyclones in football program history. Now you guys say, wow, AJ, that's a little bit of a stretch. I don't know about that. Guys, Kyle Conradi has helped Iowa State stay afloat. If he had left with everybody else, I don't think we'd be talking this year in a way of like Iowa State's going to be able to stay in games. I think we'd be saying they might go 3-9. Kyle Conradi himself, once you cross midfield, is in range. He's going to keep Iowa State in multiple games. I've said on record, he's going to win 2 or 3 games for Iowa State this year, just based on his leg power and being able to make multiple field goals. I think the world of him. And I think that Conradi going into the season is going to have a massive year. I said that Iowa State's going to beat Iowa 20-17. I don't think Conradi's going to have another game-winning kick, but he's going to be the difference maker by making a kick sometime in the fourth quarter. I think David Coffey will make a play late in the game to win that game. We have our full preview of it over on Cyclone Central. I am so excited for the rest of these specialists. Ethan Gurney, real quick, I think he's going to be really fun. He's a fun freshman from Australia. I just saw a video of him and his accent, bro. He's your stereotypical Australian, and I love it. I love him for it. He's an awesome human being. Australian punters are just great, by the way, as well. So he's going to be able to flip the field and get Iowa State in range and all those different things. But I really want to talk about Aiden Flora and Cam Petaway, because you've heard Jimmy Rogers say on record in a press conference they're both going to be involved in special teams. Well, how's that going to work when they're both also your running back room? They're the main part of your running back room. Well, it comes to the case of Arnold Barnes that I've talked a little bit about. I think that Arnold Barnes is going to play a huge role in this running back room, because Flora and Petaway aren't going to have enough energy to be on offense and special teams, in offense and special teams all game long. You're going to need that change of pace back. You're going to need that third down and short back. You're going to need that guy to carry the load a little bit. And although Barnes is a bigger set guy, he's a heavier set guy. He reminds me like a Mike Tolbert for the Chargers back in the day. I think he could be a difference maker in the run game, giving Iowa State that first down, giving them that ground and pound to run the clock out and bleed the clock in a game that you might be winning. Because Floor and Petaway are going to get theirs. They're going to get their reps. But Barnes, I think, is a huge piece of this running back room because he's going to allow Floor and Petaway to go do their thing. Floor will be the punt returner. Petaway, it sounds like, will be the kick returner. Although, Cody Jackson, you heard his inspirational story. If you haven't yet, go check it out. Cyclone Fanatic did a great story on him. Cody Jackson might be getting some reps at kick returner as well. So there's a bunch of different guys that are going to be able to provide some impact plays. I mean, Cam Petaway is on a watch list as one of the best returners in the country. It's not for no reason. He housed a couple of kicks at Bowling Green last year, and I think he has a chance to do it this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he housed maybe 2 for Iowa State. I think Flora, Petaway, Conrarty, Gurney, and then throw in some of these other freshman guys that can be specialists is going to provide Iowa State with some lightning bolts in terms of game-changing plays from your special teams. Which who would have thunk it? Because Iowa State special teams back in the day, and even during the Matt Campbell era a lot of times, was very sketchy. Even last year, with how good Kyle Conrarty is, the rest of the special teams was very sketchy. Jalen Knoll was a pretty good punt returner, but he wasn't Aiden Flora. Jalen Knoll was a way better wide receiver. He needed to play wide receiver. Aiden Flora might be the special teams guy. He might be one of the special teams players of the year in the Big 12. And don't sleep on him being a top punt returner in the country either. I am ecstatic for that aspect of Iowa State's team because the offense is going to struggle a little bit, I think. The defense is going to try to keep you in games. But the punt returning and the kick returning, that can change a game in a second. And the electric plays that could provide in the Jack or in Kinnick Stadium or on the road at BYU to change the game, I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them to do that. So I'm here to mark it down. I think Aiden Flora will house a punt this year. I think Cam Petaway will house a couple kicks this year. Guys, we haven't had a kick returner like this since Kaneda Wangu, Jarvis West back in the day. There's not guys that you really think of for Iowa State when you think about returners. And so I am over the moon excited about just the potential of this room. The sky is the limit. And hopefully it pans out that way. I really think that they are going to help Iowa State be between 5 to 7 wins instead of 2 to 4 wins. That's how important this room is. That's how important keeping Kyle Conrarty healthy. Remember him being hurt last year? Remember Iowa State down to their 4th kicker last year? I mean, it was a nightmare. Keeping Kyle Conrarty healthy will be a very important piece as well. Again, we gave the rest of our position previews on our YouTube channel. Go check out that playlist. I don't think I linked it in the show notes here today, but if you check it out on our YouTube channel and then like and subscribe, we'll give reactions to all the games and in-depth analysis on all of it. I think we're trying to get to some game reactions as well, instant game reactions and potentially even watching games live. I still got to get with my wife and get with our family to see what our schedule looks like for that. But a lot of fun Cyclone content on the way. Get to a couple more questions here, and then we will preview the Kansas City Chiefs Week 1 preseason game against the LA Rams. Devin says, I like the sweatshirt. Devin, I appreciate it. Long story, Corey, what's my record prediction? What are the Cyclones looking like? Corey, we are finishing up our schedule predictions on Cyclone Central. If you want to go check it out, we're doing games 5 through 8 today and finishing it out with games 9 through 12 on Wednesday. So Wednesday night, we will have our full record prediction for Iowa State. J-Dog, thank you for the follow. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, so we'll finish up that Cyclones prediction here. For NDR, is Ogba another sign just because he knows the system will he make a big difference? I forgot about him. Yeah, so Emmanuel Ogba, we're about to get to the Chiefs here in just a second, was signed by the Chiefs. He's going to provide some depth to the D-end room. I don't know how much of a difference he'll play, nor should he provide a lot of what am I trying to say? Nor should he provide a lot to the Chiefs room. He should be an insurance policy, not someone that you just immediately rely on. So, Corey is a Husker fan, but always got love for the Big Eight. Corey, I appreciate that. Make sure you leave a like and follow. Guys, like and subscribe. We are a Chiefs and Cyclones account. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and we're on here once a week for our podcast. And we continue to roll out Chiefs and Cyclones content every single day. So make sure you stay locked in for all of that content. Football season just 3 weeks away. And we've been getting a lot of good content already, guys. A lot of good traction with everything going on this offseason before football season has even started. So I am very excited to see what happens once we actually get going. So J-Dog says, amen. Big Dog, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I got some comments here on TikTok. Still waiting on YouTube comments to come in. Make sure you guys head over there and like that up as well. The Chiefs versus the Rams. They're going to play early or later on this season in week 13. So preseason game number 1 for both of them coming up this afternoon as you're hearing this. Maybe as you're listening to this, maybe it's already happened. But as we're recording, we are a mere 4 hours away from Chiefs Rams preseason. Mahomes isn't going to play. I don't think a lot of starters are going to play. Chris Jones has made that very much known to Andy Reid. So who do you watch out for? Did a little short on YouTube and on TikTok if you want to go check it out. I think we posted on our X profile as well. Of the 5 guys that you should watch out for, 5 must-watch players, if you will, for the Chiefs versus the Rams. Cyrus Allen's number 1. This guy just makes me so excited about the Chiefs wide receiver room again. You haven't had a wide receiver since Tyreek Hill that has this type of ability and catch rate and all these different things. Obviously, the one that's been closest to it is Rashee Rice, and we've seen how that's gone. Cyrus Allen needs to get a lot of reps today. I don't know if you play him for a whole half or if you play him for just a quarter. Regardless, he needs to get a lot of reps and he needs to get a lot of targets. I know it's not with Patrick Mahomes, so you're not really going to be able to build the chemistry too much. But Cyrus Allen's ability, guys, I mean, come on. He's easily going to be wide receiver 1 for the Chiefs come midseason. I think with how Xavier Worthy is developing or not developing, Tyquan Thornton being a role player on the outside, and Rashee Rice, frankly, just being overweight and out of shape, Cyrus Allen is the guy that I think Mahomes is going to turn to, along with Travis Kelce, of course, and Kenneth Walker out of the backfield and, sprinkle in Emmett Johnson. I love everything about Cyrus Allen, and this is why I've been so frustrated with the special teams discourse. I've been so frustrated with Chiefs fans saying that he's supposed to be playing special teams because he's a 5th-round rookie. Last time I checked, the Chiefs didn't have a good wide receiver that's been consistent. And Cyrus Allen's the only one who's been consistent in training camp, and instead of keeping him there and saying that's a sight for sore eyes for Chiefs fans, let's not mess that up, they say, no, let's throw him at gunner on punt so that he can get his 4 phases understood. Dave Tobe, Andy Reid, way too old-fashioned with that, and it almost cost them. Thankfully, it was just a shin bruise for Cyrus Allen, but it could have cost them. It could have been a torn ACL. It could have been any number of these things. And I was livid about it. If Cyrus Allen is on special teams at any point, guys, if he's on special teams at any point going into the Rams game or in the Rams game, we're going to have a tough conversation. My reaction is going to be the stuff of legends, guys. So if you want to follow along just for that, follow along just for that. He shouldn't touch special teams unless he's returning a kick or a punt. That's fine. That's using his athleticism and his talent. Don't throw that man at gunner. Don't throw that man as an outside blocker on kick return. Don't even think about it, Dave Tobe, Andy Reid. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Who else do you watch out for besides Cyrus Allen? Because I think he's gonna pan out very, very well. I am excited for Khalil Benson. I want to see him against another team that's not the Chiefs. Because he's been humbled a little bit. Chris Jones, Peter Woods, Armason Thomas kind of giving it to him a little bit. But he's also held his ground. He's also done well against a George Karlaftis. He's done well against a Felix and Udike Uzama. Like he's done well against these guys. He's even had a couple good reps against Jones and Woods and Thomas. I want to see him against a team in a different color uniform. I want to see him against another NFL team. I don't care if it's backups or third stringers or whatever. I just want to see how many reps he gets and how he does. It's one of the only times I think I'm going to be so focused on watching the offensive line, because the rest of the season, you're really watching the quarterback and the play and all those different things. Preseason, you get to kind of lock in on different players. So Khalil Benson, undrafted free agent out of Indiana, was blocking for Fernando Mendoza and is now here in Kansas City. I love his chances. He's been starting right tackle for multiple days now of training camp. The rumors are that Jalen Moore is still going to be right tackle, which is very interesting to me. I've been kind of surprised about that. But Khalil Benson can make that conversation a lot more interesting if he plays well today, regardless of who it's against on the Rams. So Cyrus Allen, Khalil Benson. I mentioned Shamari Connor yesterday. I want to see how he plays at safety. I know we've seen his ability and everything, but he's been in the slot corner a lot over the past couple seasons. I want to see him back at safety, and I want to see him thrive back there. I want to see him go play ball. I want to see him have fun playing football and not getting diced up and sauced up by different wide receivers. That's what I want from Shamari Connor. So even though he's a veteran in the room and a veteran for the Chiefs, I want to see his ability to make plays and to be a great tackler like he is without having to worry about covering the number 2 guy or the number 1 guy from the slot. That Cowboys game will stick in my memory and my nightmares forever because of that. Cyrus Allen, Khalil Benson, Shamari Connor. Does Monster Delane play today? I doubt it. I highly doubt it, considering he just got out of a yellow jersey. What was that, Friday or Thursday? And it was a no padded practice. If he goes out in pads to play the game today, I'll be ecstatic. I want to see if he's all talk or if he walks the walk. Because we talked about a little bit in our DB preview. We're finishing up today, actually, later on today, we're finishing up our position preview for the Chiefs. So both position previews for the Cyclones and the Chiefs will be done today. I talked a lot about in our DB room preview of the Chiefs, what if the Chiefs get it wrong about Monster Delane? Because, guys, if they're wrong about Monster Delane, I'm worried about the future of the coaching staff in the front office. Because you had so many other guys you could have gotten, and I think that Jordan Tyson and Ruben Bain still to this day would have been a better pick. I hope Monster Delane proves me wrong. I hope Brett Veach proves me wrong. The rest of the draft looks fine. Peter Woods looks like a monster. Armason Thomas looks decent so far. But what happens if that number 6 pick doesn't pan out? Gets real hot. The seat gets really hot for Brett Veach and Andy Reid and everybody else in there. So, man, I really want to see Delane play, and I really want to see him out of a yellow jersey, for crying out loud. We've only seen one day of it, and it was with no pads. Who else do you watch out for in today's game? I'm completely blanking on who I said yesterday. So we're going to go with Peter Woods. Peter Woods, and we'll just throw Armason Thomas in there as well, that front line, that defensive line. I want to see those guys go eat. I want to see them go eat. I think they got a lot of talent in that room, and the D-line is being slept on because it's a lot of new guys. Well, just because it's a lot of new guys doesn't mean it can't be great. It can still be a really interesting season in a positive way if both those guys play well. I want to see the D-line play well. I really do. I really need a pass rusher back, man. I really need to see some guys go get it. Go get it done, man. Please. It would make my day. It would make my day. So those are the guys that I'm kind of watching out for. For whatever reason, I completely blanked on the rest of the guys that I had mentioned yesterday. But we did a short on the 5 must-watch players for the Chiefs versus the Rams. I'm not going to give a score prediction or anything like that. It's preseason. Nobody really cares. But I think that not playing Mahomes is the smart move. Just my quick take on that. You need to make sure he is fully ready and fully healthy going into week 1. And if he doesn't play against another NFL team until September 14th, so be it. So be it. Help the man out by letting him have time off. Please. Please, he needs time off. So those are the guys I'm watching out for. We did a short on it. We got some videos on it. We'll probably do a reaction video to the game later today. Again, we're busy with Cyclone Central stuff, which is our exclusive Iowa State podcast. I know I mentioned that a couple times, but Cyclone Central is exclusively Iowa State stuff. We're providing you in-depth analysis, sources free of charge. We're not going to charge you for anything for all the sources that we have over there. Owen does a great job getting some valuable information for us as we get ready for the season. So any takes that you guys have on the Chiefs versus Rams game going into today? Let's see. King Bear says Chiefs are Cyclones are horrible and the Chiefs are trash. King Bear, thanks for joining on and for trolling like that. All righty. Never ceases to amaze me. Never ceases to amaze me. Landon says, I'm a Penn State fan. Who should I be most excited for and which young prospects to watch as well? Could not care less about that, Landon. Enjoy all of the former Cyclones. Yeah. So we're going to finish up here as we get ready for the Chiefs game later today and our schedule preview continuing on at Cyclone Central. Devin says, I just laugh at the Chiefs haters. Absolutely. Come on. Come on. We laugh at them. We laugh at them. Steve on YouTube. What's up? Been a Chiefs fan since 88. Like finding new platforms. Go Chiefs, go. Let's go, Steve. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe over there. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We are on here once a week, and it'll get a lot. Once football season starts, guys, it'll be fun. It'll be tons of fun. So just some housekeeping content for you guys coming up this next week. Now that we finish the position previews, what I'm thinking about doing, because we're doing a Cyclone schedule preview on Cyclone Central, I don't know if I want to do separate videos on that here on YouTube. So what I'm thinking about doing for the Cyclones is just giving fall camp updates in preparation for the season, give a couple storylines I'm looking at going into the season. And then once the season starts, obviously go into the reactions and game tendencies and reacting to everything about the game throughout the week. For the Chiefs, you guys can stay tuned for this. It's going to be a lot of fun. On the podcast in a couple of weeks, probably the week before the season starts, I'm giving a full season preview for the NFL. So a full season preview, I will predict every record of every team, give the playoffs, give the who's going to make the Super Bowl, all different stuff. I will give all of that, which means the week before or the week after, depending on which one comes first, I will give a full Chiefs preview. Full Chiefs preview on the podcast. We'll have to figure out, because that's right when this Cyclone season starts as well. So we'll figure out how to do all of that and work all of that into an hour podcast. But it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I always like predicting and giving hot takes and all those different things. Perry Picks does a really cool thing where they have a schedule generator or schedule predictor generator where you can just literally click wins or losses. So we'll do that. We'll share our screen for that, and we'll have fun hanging out doing a full NFL season preview. This week for the Chiefs, I will be reacting to the preseason week 1 and giving training camp updates as we get ready for Denver Broncos week 1 in Arrowhead. So again, Chiefs full season preview on the podcast in a couple of weeks. We'll get more info on that on X. NFL season preview for the whole season on the podcast. We'll say the week after. We'll do the Chiefs first and the NFL season preview after. So a couple more comments and then we'll get out of here, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us every single week here on Cyclone Kingdom Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on X and TikTok, where we give out a lot of social media content about Iowa State and Kansas City. Juan the Man says, will you be cheering for Penn State? No chance. Fat chance, Juan. Fat chance I'll be cheering for Penn State. I hope they lose every game. Just the nature of the beast when it comes to college sports nowadays. So, but if there's no other questions or comments, guys, I always appreciate you for liking and subscribing, for following along. My name is AJ Caldwell. I'm a diehard Chiefs and Cyclones fan. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. We finish every single podcast in the same way. If you are not a follower of Jesus Christ, repent from your sins, put your faith and trust in him. He is life everlasting. In him is life, and in him is hope and joy and a life that is pleasing to him. If you do not know Christ, if you are godless, have never been to church, or hate the Lord, DM me. Let's talk. Let's chat. This platform is to engage with sports fans with the hope that they will come to know Jesus Christ and see sports in the right light and see it in this way. Sports is fun. Watching sports is fun. It is not our eternal value. Our eternal value is knowing that we have a soul that will one day face God, where we will give an account for everything we've said and done, and give an account for how we responded to the call of salvation in Jesus Christ. I am so thankful for all the Lord's doing through this page, through this social media platform, and I will continue to be unashamed about the gospel, regardless of what comes, because blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Again, my name is AJ Caldwell. I'm a diehard Chiefs and Cyclones fan. And as always, roll Clones. And how about those Chiefs? God bless y'all. See you next week.